Your people are these your students? Yeah, you're going to sit in between them. Yeah, they're hard to see them now. So you can sit. I'm going to tell you that. And some people, It's Megan Porter. Amari. That's you. Okay, I'm making sure everybody's here. Jordan Morris. Aaron Simmons. Oh, there you are. And so Aaron's over there, but you're going to speak. Hannah's here, Maddie Weaver's here, Tracy's here, Jory. Arden. There you are. Brayden, Kelsey, Sandra, Aiden, Gunjan. Okay, perfect. I think everybody's here that said they could be in person. So, and is everybody there by Zoom? Okay, so just before, I know, where is Cooper? Okay, so Cooper, don't start recording yet. I'm going to say a few things before it goes on, okay?
I already started.
Oh, you did? Well, hi, everybody. All right, so welcome. I'm so glad everyone's here. Just before we get started, so we kind of, you know what to expect and you know how it's going to go, and then we'll kind of start with the actual program. So we do have some guests and some parents that are with us by Zoom, so I should probably stand here. Hopefully, parents, I hope you can hear me. If not, say something in chat, because this is the best it's going to get, I think. So anyway, if you are a teacher, when I call you up to present your awards, you will need to stand in close proximity to this microphone so that the parents and the students that are joining us by Zoom can hear, okay? And then after you say your little deal, you'll walk over and present the award to your student. And then after you receive your award, you and your teacher are going to go to the backdrop, and Mr. Gaston is going to take your picture, so don't run off. And if you nominated, teachers, if you nominated 2 students, just stay put. I'm going to try to do them right in a row, so you don't have to go sit down, come back, sit down, come back, okay, for time efficiency. And then Miss Phi, would you raise your hand? Miss Phi also has a t-shirt for everybody, so after you get your award, you will get to pick out, you can just tell her what size you need. We have various sizes. We didn't know who would want what size, okay? So any questions before we get going? Okay. All right, I guess this is it okay to leave this off while talking?
No, we need to have it on.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We're used to it. Everybody project.
Okay, yeah, so when you are a speaker, you will need to project. All right. So, my name is Miss Udell, and on behalf of the counseling department, which they are all around the room, wave if you're a counselor, we are hosting these awards, the Gold Award. And just a little bit about the award. You know, you've probably been over the years, you've been in middle school and high school, you've been to academic banquets, and you've been to sports banquets, and you've been to things for your fine arts. But very seldom do we honor just wonderful, wonderful kids. And so this award came about a few years back. to do just that. So your kids that are seen in the eyes of your teachers and your peers is outstanding people, outstanding citizens. Those kind of people, when we describe you, go above and beyond the call of duty, okay? And I'm crying because I wish everybody in the school was like you. And I think, you know, I have the distinct pleasure of inviting all of you. You all got to come in my office when I handed you your invitation. And I also got the distinct pleasure of talking to many of your parents. And I want you to know, and parents, if you're listening, so many of you said of all the awards that a school could offer or award, this is the one I would want my child to have. Because it means so much. You know, you can be the brightest person in the room, you can be the best athlete, but if you don't have the character, it takes it down a few notches. So it's everything, guys. And I am so proud of you. I'm so proud to be in this room with all of you. And I'm going to let Miss Simmons, she is our principal, you all know that. I'm going to let her say a few words just to open our ceremony, and then we'll get started and the teachers will help with the presentation.
Well, thank you. Good morning. I'm so excited to get to have this celebration today. This is something that was started a few years back, and you know, with the year of COVID, a lot of things are not normal or not the same, but I'm so excited that we still have the opportunity to honor and celebrate you incredible students. Like she shared, this is a unique award, and so it's one where you get nominated for this, and it's not just academics, it's not just how you perform in a sport or on a court or in the play or something like that. It really goes much broader than that and really speaks to you as our whole student and your character, your integrity, and things like that. So thank you for being here. Thank you, parents, all of our friends on Zoom. Thank you all for being here this morning, and just appreciate and are excited to be able to celebrate you guys this morning. So thank you.
Thank you. And are you going to say our pledge to your okay. All right. Without further ado, I will be calling out the teachers first. And some teachers have nominated 2 students, and so we'll do those in succession so you don't have to go sit down and come all the way back up. So when I call the teacher name, you head forward, and then we'll call the students after that. So we're going to start with our seniors. And if I can get Miss Cooper and Zoe to please come up. So Ms. Cooper, if you'll stand by the mic, and Zoe, you can stand next to her, yeah, just so they can hear you. So she can say all the nice stuff about it.
All right, well, I've had the pleasure of being Zoe's director since she was a JV Indianette, and then she's moved on to be a varsity Indianette, and Zoe just always goes above and beyond in whatever she's doing. She's involved in so many awesome things here at Keller High School, and no matter what the task is at hand, she comes in with a huge radiant smile, even through her mask, I can feel it. She has a huge personality, and every morning at 7 a.m., she just comes in and she's ready to work, and her teammates see it, and I see it, and she just makes me so proud as her director. I think that she's been just a key factor in why our year has been so fun and successful. Her teammates enjoy her and love her, and I enjoy and love her, and I miss her so much, and I think that her character will take her so far in the future, and I'm so excited to see what she does moving forward. And really quick, I'm going to break the rules because I'm not talking over there in the corner, but I have a loud voice. So one of the things our students are going to get today is a Keller coin. It's something that is given out at select times to select groups of students throughout the course of their senior year. And it's something that I just ask that you carry it with you. It's something that maybe you look at it, you might come across it laying in your drawer or something and remember your time at Keller High School. But I also tell kids that just because you graduate and head on and go on to do big and great things, there's always a piece of you that's left here. You leave a legacy behind when you go on. And you're always welcome back at Keller High. So for you underclassmen, you're going to get one a little early, but keep it in your pocket. Remember who you are. You're always one of our students, always a Keller High School student, and just proud of you and the award you get today. So there you go. Come right here and they'll take a picture.
Congratulations, Zoe. Okay, our next teacher who's going to be presenting is Miss Laura Coulter, and if Maddie Dunbar and, let's see, Jordan Morris will come up as well.
Okay, it's such an honor today to have both of these young girls with me. I'll talk about Maddie Dunbar first. As president of DECA, her character has just shown this year. She shines with her leadership. She leads by example. We recruited over 100 kids this year, even with COVID, and we were designated a century chapter, one of the biggest chapter in the whole United States. We also won the Community Service and Promotional Award with her leadership. She led by example by being one of our top sellers in our fundraisers, so she's not just saying, get out there guys, we need to raise money. She put the work into it. And I know that this has been a tough year for all of us, but I've been so lucky. It's been a great year, one of our most successful with DECA. And we could not have done it without Maddie's leadership. She's always there, ready to do things when we need her. And I just want to thank her, and I'll miss her so much next year, but thank you so much, Maddie. Congratulations. Okay, Jordan. Now we have Jordan Morris, and Jordan wanted to make a difference at Keller High School. She was president of Operation Beautiful, and she helped with our 3 initiatives. We didn't just say, oh, it's COVID, we're not going to do our Operation Beautiful or No Place for Hate. She led excellent Zoom meetings that kids really got a lot out of. We had a guest speaker, and if any of you were lucky enough to be on that Zoom, we had Trayvon Webster, who's one of our Keller High School alums, talk about what it's like for him at Keller High School and how at Keller High School we could be supportive of everyone. And it was just such a great, we had so much feedback from that. And her character, she just steps up. She also was vulnerable and shared a personal journey of her own to reach out to others so that they would feel like they're not alone. And, you know, we just need more people like Jordan at Keller High School. So I'll miss you. Thank you.
Okay, we have one honored guest who was not going to be here today, and I don't see him on Zoom, but I don't want to just leave him out since we're recording. We can still do our presentation. So if I could get Ms. Turnley to step forward, she is going to recognize Benjamin Theft.
Good morning. One of the things that they teach all of us as educators when we go through college is never forget the role of your custodians or secretaries. And I've always remembered that engraved. And I think a third group that needs to be added to that is the role of our student aides. You know, our student aides in our office especially, I can't speak from the other offices, but they provide an invaluable service for us. And so I wrote and honored Ben because as an 8th period aide, when most seniors have an option not to be on campus, Ben has been on campus and serving as an aide in our office. Cheerfully, a lot of times at the last minute, running to go get a student for us, you know, telling me if there was an issue. And so I just really appreciate that. But in this year of COVID, he's also had the added responsibility, like a lot of students do in 8th period, of wiping those desks down, and so he would wipe our office down and you know, take the dirty rags to wherever they need to go to be laundered for the next day. So I just saw that service, as Miss Cudell said, you know, going above and beyond, and that's why Ms. Peters and I both decided to honor Ben for the role that he was in the services he was giving us during that 8th period when he didn't have to be. So I did appreciate that.
All right, and next we have Miss Rebecca Morrow, who's going to come up and speak. And one of our teachers could not be here this morning, and so she is actually going to represent Miss Melanie Rogers as well. And Miss Morrow nominated Madeleine Garringer, and Miss Rogers nominated Gracie Barton.
If you know us, so many people confuse Melanie and I, and we go hand in hand with most things anyway. So it is my honor to be able to be here for her today. First, I want to honor Madeleine Garringer. I had to write down what I was going to say about her because I could stand up here and talk to you guys until 3rd period about how much I love this kid. I found in my years in education that every few years a student comes along to really remind me of the top reason I love my job, relationships with students. Madeleine has been that light for me this in the toughest of years. Now, I've known her for 3 years now and never actually had the pleasure of having her in class. She's been an active member in FCCLA, competing for the last 2 years, serving as one of the most reliable officers I've ever had this year in the toughest year. But it wasn't until this year that I've gotten to spend part of every day with Madeleine. She is my student aide 1st period, so we spend the morning, whether we're working or not, catching up, sharing stories, even giving advice. I give her life advice. She gives me keeps me up to date on pop culture, current events, making sure that I know what's going on in her life and those of others. I hope to have even inspired some confidence in her as I've sent her out the door to the latest test or project she worries about but inevitably aces. Because I know she's done that for me this year. She's the quiet voice, always encouraging me when she watches me struggle through Zooms with my remote class. She's an old soul, wise beyond her years, and someone I truly consider a friend. I'm so grateful for the time we've gotten together this year, Madeleine, and I'm happy to honor you with this award. Melanie was so sad not to be here for you, Gracie, and I am glad to put a face to the name because she has talked about you all year and how much of a light that you've been for her. So, in her words, first and foremost, I'm really sorry that I'm not able to be here today to celebrate this wonderful student and all of these amazing Gold Award winners. Grace is in my remote accounting class this year. Since day one, she has joined Zoom with her camera on, a big deal for those of us who teach remotely. And with a smile on her face. She is always the one who answers me when I ask questions about whether or not they can see the screen or all those other crazy Zoom questions we find ourselves asking. Through remote, we actually connected because of that smile and the attention she gave to the class. She's now competing in both BPA and UIL accounting, and she plans on running for BPA officer next year. While it has been so hard to connect with many remote learners, she is definitely a testament to the fact that it can work. She works hard and is always conscientious about her grades, but she also knows how important it is to connect with people and enjoy life. I truly can't wait to get to see her, actually see her next year in accounting too. She is a light to others around her.
All right, our next student being honored will be presented by Miss Andrea Frank and Omari Jackson, if you will come forward.
Just like Rebecca, I also have something written because I could go on and on. If you don't know me, I love to chat, and especially about a student as special as Amari is to me. So it's my honor to nominate Amari for this award. Many of you probably know Amari faculty that's never had Amari as a student. He is such a presence. He's friendly, has a genuine personality. He's passionate about his conversations, has a huge smile behind the mask that we don't get to see often, but I know it's there. He makes an impression on everyone he meets, and many times students are inspired by their teachers. I'm inspired by Amari. He has a positive presence on campus. He's authentic. You'll find his conversations are intentional. He's outspoken and passionate about his beliefs, but he's respectful and he listens and accepts others. He truly lives his morals that stem from his faith, and he stays true to himself, which may not always be popular. He's dealt with some obstacles in his life, yet never let circumstances define him, but to motivate him. Many will never know the full story of the students that come in our classrooms, but I do know that Amari works a lot of hours, often going from school to Six Flags, working countless hours on the weekends, and has never used that as an excuse to be tired, to get behind on his work, and to have a bad attitude. This year, my business practicum class, all of my students were preparing excitedly for their internships off campus. Unfortunately, Amari was faced with the challenge of not being able to leave campus for reasons out of his control. But through it all, he stayed positive, and he came up with possible solutions to be able to still obtain that experience of being in an internship. Ultimately, he was able to convince myself and administration to be able to open up the school store, which is also known as the Spirit Shop. He has if there's a will, there is a way attitude. Opening the school store has been a huge undertaking. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and there's been a lot of conversation with administration, and so there was a lot of work on his side to be able to open the store. He could have sat quietly and done projects in class, but he chose to make sure that he was able to get that work experience. That's the kind of person Amari is. So one other word to describe Amari is perseverance. So today I would like to honor Amari for his stamp that he's made on Keller. He's made a big stamp in my life, and I appreciate everything and all the work that he's done this year in my class. So thank you.
Congratulations, Amari.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to skip down to freshman because one of the teachers has a meeting that she needs to get to very quickly. So I'm going to let Ms. Tony Thomas come forward, and her her honored guests are Sandra Ibrahim and Gwen Walsh. So the three of you would please step forward.
Well, I'm so excited to be here. When I saw the girls, I was like, oh, this is how they look like, because I've never met them before. They are my remote students, and so it's just a pleasure to see them. They're just smiling at me. This is exactly what they do on Zoom too. They just smile through their masks, and it's just amazing to be here. This is my third time doing this. Since I've been here, I always try to make this awards ceremony because the kids here are so amazing, and that's so true of Sandra and Gwen. Both of them are academic stars. I'll start with Sandra. She's just so sweet, and she's so persistent too. When she has a question, she will just pop back on Zoom again and again and again, and I love that about her. And she's just always so thankful. Her emails always say, thank you so much, and I'm like, oh, well, that's great, and she laughs and she smiles, and one thing about both of them is they always stay after just to chat on Zoom, and that's so nice. I mean, I've never met them before, but they just want to chat and talk about stuff, and that's such a sweet quality to have. And then Gwen,
same thing, same story. They're actually both in the same class, so I just enjoy our conversations. She's also academics are so sweet, always willing to help others. She'll answer questions in the chat when other people have questions, and so I'm just so honored to be here, to be with these ladies. Thank you.
All right, and I know I'm going to probably mess up your name, Coach, but Coach Wisniewski.
That's right.
Awesome. He is our diving coach, and so we rarely see him on campus. He's always over at the pool. His honored guest today is Lexi Martin.
All right, good morning. Yeah, as she said, I'm over at the natatorium, so I had a little trouble even finding this, but I'm glad we made it. So thanks for having me, everybody. I'm here today to honor Lexi. Lexi is an absolute role model of a human being. I've had the pleasure of coaching Lexi for the last 4 years now, and we will certainly miss having her on our team next year. She's been an awesome team captain this year. It's going to be extremely difficult to find anybody on our current squad to fill those shoes, but it's not because of a lack of leadership. It's just she's done such a great job, and it'll be hard to fill that void. Lexi is naturally a quiet person and maybe easily embarrassed, but her actions speak so loudly when she's at the pool and when we're working out. She's consistently at practice, ready to get in the pool at 6 a.m. She pushes others to be at their best, even when she is not feeling at her best, which is a very difficult quality. I mean, she reminds me to be that way sometimes when I come in and I'm tired. You know, Lexi's there to push us all. She can be a perfectionist to a fault sometimes. She can get a little frustrated if things aren't going the way she wants, but it's just because she is such a hard worker and she really wants everything to be just right all the time, which is a great quality to have, and because of that, she is going to go extremely far in life because of that unwavering work ethic. Outside of the pool, Lexi is a volunteer in various capacities. She helps out with team functions outside of the pool, but also with National Honor Society, and she is a coach for a gymnastics program. And when she's not doing all that, she's also a national level competitor for the club diving program in the area as well. There are very few people and athletes like Lexi. So I believe this level of hard work should be recognized, and that's why I'm honoring Lexi with this.
All right, congratulations. Our next teacher who's going to be coming forward is Ms. Carrie Mullen, and she is going to be recognizing 2 students, senior Aaron Simmons-Inlow, and also Jory Hood, who is a sophomore. So if you 2 ladies would come up and she will take them up.
Hi, good morning. I also try to do this every year because I think it's so important to recognize the students that are always doing the right things that you don't have to really worry about. Obviously, recently I had surgery, and both these girls were super responsible. I actually had a huge art competition, and Erin stepped up and helped my students put stuff in the kiln and learn about glazes, and I could just be like, oh, go ask Erin, because she knows everything. So she kind of took over for me and helped everyone out so much, and I've had her for 2 years, and she's one of those students who's always like, what do you need? What can I do for you? She'll bring me paper towels if we need paper towels or hand sanitizer. And like, she volunteers all the time, and she's an amazing person. She's like getting her pilot license. Like, she's just a cool person and super mature, always there for me, and I'm gonna miss her so much. And then Jory's new to my class, and in this year, it's been so hard to connect with students and I'm sure they feel the same way with their teachers. It's just a weird environment, and I can talk to Jory about any, like, if I have a conversation with her, she'll talk back to me, which is like amazing. But she also, both of them, they always are smiling and they laugh at my terrible jokes, which also makes me feel a little better. But she's just a sweet person, and you can tell when she walks in the room that she is going to do anything you need her to do. She's responsible. She shows up on time and she works hard every single day. So I can't be more thankful for these two young ladies. And I'm so excited to see what you'll do in the future. Thank you.
And Aaron, aren't you supposed to be, Aaron, aren't you supposed to be taking your test right now?
They got moved.
Okay. I actually got a message from her mom that she would not be here this morning because she was getting her pilot's license. So we're glad that she was able to be here in person. All right. So our next teacher who will be presenting is Ms. Renee Kelly. And her honored guest is Hannah Lindemann.
Good morning. I've nominated Hannah Lindemann for the Gold Award because she is one of my remote students. I have all remote students. And she is so mature and just so engaged every time we meet. She goes above and beyond in all of her assignments. She keeps her camera on, and I can tell that she's actually paying attention to me, and she is reacting to what I'm teaching and what I'm saying. And she's just a great example of what all our students should be like. So, congratulations, Hannah. And it's nice to meet you in person.
I was really excited to see that 5 of our honored guests are remote learners. So just like Ms. Kelly, they have never met these students in person. So, it's one thing to be in person and connect and be there every day. And some of these teachers have known these students for years. But, even extra special when you're a remote learner and make that connection through a camera. So I applaud all of you. Our next teacher who will be presenting is Ms. Amra Theriol, and her honored guest is Maddie Weaver.
Hey, I'm Amra Theriol, and I called Maddie this morning and said, wear black. I just love the Gold Awards. I think it's such a joy. I think as high school teachers, we get to see kids grow and mature and just blossom into these beautiful young women and men. And I'm trying not to get emotional because it's so exciting to watch them, and I've gotten to be a part of this. And so with Maddie, she's just a joy to have in class. She goes above and beyond. She really cares about her work. With COVID and the end of last year, everybody's kind of like, if you participate, then you get credit, right? So, and I think some people came into this year thinking it might be the same, but she is not like that. She cares about her grades. She really makes sure she turns in her work, and she asks questions every day about making sure she gets it right. And even when she was quarantined, that's so hard, you guys. Being quarantined and having to be at home and do it remotely, if you're not used to it, some remote students have done it excellent, but it's hard if that's not your personality. And she's done a really good job with making sure she stayed up with everything. And she's just always so cheerful and positive and comes in with a smile on her face, and I love having her in class, and she's just truly a joy to teach. And she's also in cheer, so she's not just excellent in her classwork, but she is a well-rounded individual, and it's just, it's hard to see the kids who really have true grit and just fight through all the things, the circumstances that we've had, and just shine the way that she has. And so I just really appreciate your work ethic and your positive attitude and just being an excellent student. And like you were saying earlier, the character is huge, and it just makes a huge difference. And so that's why I wanted to nominate you today for the Gold Award. I'm so proud of you.
teacher who will be presenting is Mr. Damian Baranco, and his honored guest is Arden Turner.
I am blessed to see Arden every day. She has 8th period geometry. She comes to class prepared. She'll ask questions. She assists her classmates, and she asks questions. I appreciate her effort in 8th period geometry. It's tough to have math any time of the day, much less 8th period.
Congratulations, Arden. Okay, our next teacher who will be presenting is Mr. Brian Ketchum, and his honored guest is Megan Gore.
I don't really know what these teachers are saying. She doesn't laugh at my jokes. She doesn't fly planes. But in the theater, it's everyone. You can be, 3 things will keep you employed, right? You can be on time, you can be nice, and you can be talented. And of those 3, being talented is the one I least care about. And Megan is all 3. She is just an incredible hard worker. She go to my tech class last year, and like I said, she never laughs at my jokes. But she keeps me very grounded, and she gives me this look like, that's, you made an effort there. But she was in class, she decided to do a play last year, and then obviously we shut down not long after that. And then this year, I had no doubt in my mind she'd be one of my stage managers. And then she gets in a car wreck, a very, very bad car wreck right during Thanksgiving break. And she's in the hospital, and I get an email, hey, is it okay if she turns in her stage manager packet a day late? I'm like, yeah. How about we have surgery first, okay? Let's take care of what we need to. But obviously, she's the obvious choice. She did a whole run. I don't have to do anything when she's there. She takes care of it. She keeps the kids in line. She keeps me in line. And then So she only got 3 shows, and she decided to give one of her shows to her assistant stage manager because she simply said, look, they're going to be here next year and I'm not, and I want to make sure I'm passing along that opportunity to them. And I think that is just a very impressive thing to do. And then when we decided to pick a 1-act cast, I had to pick 1 stage manager from the 4, and I knew I didn't have to go to Megan and ask her. I just put her on sound, and I said, I hope you know why I put you on sound. She goes, yeah, I figured. I know how to do sound, and you got people that can do their jobs, and I'm happy to do it. There's no ego here. It's just she wants to do the best of the team. I love this kid to death. I don't have a daughter. I don't want one. But if I had to have one, that's the one I'd want right there.
Yeah, we all know Mr. Ketchum needs people to keep him in line, right? Okay, our next teacher who will be presenting is Miss Shelley Harrison. And if Braden Dunbar and Cassidy Hanadar would please step forward.
Seriously? Joey, you make me follow Ketchum. Awesome. I want to start with Braden here, Braden Dunbar. And I just want to say, first of all, can I just be brutally honest? Maturity is not the abstract noun that automatically comes to mind when you think about freshman boys. I'm just going to say that. But I think I may have found the exception to that rule. I've been able to participate in the Gold Award for many years, ever since its inception quite a few years ago with our lead counselor, Summer Martin, who has left us and been replaced by an amazing lead counselor, Wes Upton. I can tell you this, I knew that Braden was my Gold Award winner within the first couple of weeks that he was in my class. There was something about the way he carried himself that caught my attention from the very beginning. I admit I had high expectations because I had taught his older sister, Maddie, honored here today, shocker. And he had set the bar pretty high. She had set the bar pretty high. Simply put, Braden is a no excuses kiddo with a really strong work ethic. He's a very strong student and he's athletic, he's well liked by his peers, but he has enough genuine humility to not let any of that stand in his way or let that show. He doesn't let anything go to his head. When this kind of student shows up once in your class, you know the parents are pretty special. And lightning strikes twice, as it did with the two Dunbar kids. You know unequivocally these parents are doing something right. So Mr. and Mrs. Dunbar, although you can't be here today, I hope you're watching and know the deep and abiding respect that I have for you. Congratulations today, Braden. You are so deserving of this honor. Miss Cassidy. As teachers, we are mostly born encouragers. I'm looking out in the room and I see so many of you who I know it's your gift to encourage students. Whether it's academically or socio-emotionally, we view it as part of our responsibility to our students to lift them up so that they can eventually reach their potential, whatever that is. It can be emotionally draining and it can be exhausting at times because when our students are happy, we're happy. When our students hurt, we hurt. As teachers, we always have that one student who stands out because he, in this case, she, is a source of that encouragement. I nominated Cassie because she is that source for me. She came into my class this year from the remote setting, and although it can be difficult for students to assimilate into a new classroom environment, Cassidy simply seemed like she had always been there from the first day. She's an intentional participator with a very kind heart and has a keen sense of humor, very self-deprecating. She can laugh at herself, which is such an important quality. When I'm needing a little bit of affirmation that I'm somehow making a difference in my classroom, I can look out and see the nod of her head, and maybe not her smiling face, but the sparkle in her beautiful eyes. And know I'm not only heard, but appreciated as a teacher. Cassidy clearly embodies all of the gold standard traits needed to be selected for this award, and I'm so proud to honor her and her parents, whom I have not yet met, but know that they are rock stars. So, congratulations today, Cassidy. You deserve this. I'm gonna fly.
We forgot the tissue. All right, we have one final teacher who's going to come up and present, and that is a teacher who's new to us this year, Mr. Nicholas Salazar. And Nicholas, Mr. Salazar, is honoring two students, Aiden Lohr and Gunjan Shrestha.
Thank you. So in my short time here, when I think of two students who inspire me every day, Gunjan and Aiden are the ones who come to mind. Aiden, for you first, every day, like your engagement, your passion to learn, it inspires me to be the best I can be. You're not just a leader for your own classmates, getting them to engage, but you make me want to be a better myself. Gunjan, you're an exceptional student, but when I think of you, that's not the first thing I think of. I think of the culture that you set in our classroom. I think of the acceptance that you have for your peers, no matter their differences, no matter where they come from. The culture of kindness is such a wonderful feeling to walk into as both a teacher and a student, so I'm so thankful for both of you.
Okay. So I want to thank all of the teachers who nominated students. As you can see, we have, I don't even know how many teachers in our school, about over 100 I know for sure. And these teachers took their time to prepare and nominate and to prepare something to say and to honor you here today. So let's give a round of applause to our teachers who did the nomination. And then I also want to thank all the counselors who are here. This is a team effort. So as you can see, everybody kind of took on a role. And so I appreciate all the counselors here today. And Ms. Simmons, thank you. I think Ms. Simmons has like 3 or 4 different activities to run to today. And she did not want to miss this. She's heading to the golf tournament after this, but she said, I don't want to miss the gold awards, and I'm so glad that she was here. So students, I think we want, Mr. Gaston, well, I'll let him take a picture. I think we wanted to get a group picture of all the students before you head out. And the letter that was at your table, I know you're going to be tardy to first period, so you can use that and let your teacher know that you're at the gold award. Some of you are with that teacher, so you're good. I am also going to leave a list of your names with the attendance clerk. So even if your teacher or you have a substitute or something gets missed, we will take care of your attendance, so don't stress over that at all. So, yes, ma'am. So for the teachers who nominated, and unfortunately we weren't allowed to serve students food, this is normally, thank you, Ms. Harrison, for calling So yes, in the past, this has been a breakfast, but due to the COVID protocols, we're not allowed to serve students food. But there are teachers who nominated and our administrators and counselors. If you will stop by the counseling conference room after this, we do have some little goodies. Students, you get water. So again, congratulations to all of you. I want to see, how many of you went to Salazar Intermediate when you were younger? Okay, I was the counselor there, and I saw many, many familiar faces. And even back then, I knew you were going to do great things. So congratulations to everyone. And again, students, if you'll make your way towards the backdrop, we will get your group picture, and then you can come back to class.